Right. Yeah. Now watch. Okay. So I've wrote something on the post-it note. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna pop it. Yeah. I'm gonna pop that in my pocket. I'll come back to that in a second. All right. And I've got a pack of cards. Now I'm going to show you that they're all different and they're all mixed up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to deal through the cards this way, okay?
Yeah.
I want you to say stop whenever you like,
Okay.
and the face down card is going to be your card, okay?
Okay. Stop.
Okay, I was about to go with that one. Do you want to go a couple more, or are you happy with this one?
I'm quite happy with that.
You sure?
Yeah.
You don't want to change your mind at all?
No.
Now, is it fair to say these are all different, okay?
Yeah.
You could have stopped on any of them?
Yeah.
Yeah? Guys, would you all agree with that? That card's been there, that's the one you stopped on, right? There's no funny business.
No.
I'm going to turn around while you show the camera what your card is, okay? Have you all seen that? Okay. Okay, now, I wrote my prediction before we stopped.
Yeah.
They're all different, you could have stopped anywhere, is that fair?
Yeah.
You stopped on the...
Do you want me to show you?
Yeah. The Queen of Hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, my prediction right at the start was Queen of Hearts.
I can't believe that. Oh my god. Did you see him do anything? No. No. Nothing. No way.
Thank you very much, guys. You were awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, I'm Chris Congreve. This is my prediction system. With this system, you're going to be able to predict cards, places, cities, actors, actresses, anything you can write down on a business card or a playing card. You're going to do it openly. It's going to blow people away. So we're going to do a quick performance using the prediction system as a card trick. Now, first of all, very important I show you, all the cards are different and mixed up they are. There's no trick decks or anything like that. Okay. And I'm going to get the spectator in a second to deal through the cards, and they have a free choice. They can stop anywhere they like. And I'm going to make a little prediction, which I'm going to write on the back of this post-it note. Ooh, let me just have a look, see what card it is. I need to remember that for later, very important. Okay. So, I now have my prediction written down. I don't need to see that just yet, so I'm going to cut that somewhere into the pack. Alright, that goes into the pack there. As I deal through the cards, face up like this, one at a time, whenever you like, your spectator can say stop. Alright, and the next face down card is going to be there. So let's say they deal a few through like this and then say stop here. Now at this point, I genuinely don't know what that card is. Alright, and they really could have stopped on any one of these. Now I actually wrote my prediction on the back of the Queen of Clubs. Okay, remember I looked at that earlier on, the Queen of Clubs. Okay, and the prediction was the Three of Clubs. Let's have a look at what card they stopped me on. The Three of Clubs. Thank you. Okay, so this is another performance using the playing cards. Subtle difference in the way this is done, and I think this is my preferred way of doing it, although both have got their merits. So again, we're using the same pack of cards. They can be shown all the way through. I'm going to write a prediction on my post-it note. Okay, so this is my prediction. I don't want you to see it, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it over here in my pocket. We'll come back to that a little bit later. I'm just going to deal through the cards like this, and again, anywhere you like, you say stop, so the spectator goes through a few cards like so, and we'll go a few more this time. Stop here. So you could have stopped on any of these cards, and you could have stopped on any of these cards. It was a completely free choice. It really was a free choice. So as you turn your back, okay, the spectator is looking at the card here. Okay, so hopefully you've all seen that now. So I'm just going to turn my back a little bit while they're doing this, and then I'll reach into my pocket, bring out the prediction from earlier. So my prediction was the Ace of Clubs, and obviously the spectator's card is the Ace of Clubs. So this time I've got some different cards. These can be business cards as well, or double blank cards. That they don't have to be bicycle back. There can be any cards really. And what I've done on here, as you can see, is I've written a whole load of superheroes, okay, and villains and stuff like that, okay, and they are all different and they're all mixed up. So once again, I'm going to make a little prediction of who I think you're going to go for. All right, and I'm going to write it on my little post-it pad here. So okay, if you just, yeah, I'm going to try and influence you to go for this person, okay, because this is actually my favourite superhero, and I'm just going to cut it in here so you can't see who I'm thinking of. So I'm going to deal through anywhere you like. You just say stop. Stop there. Yeah, so that's stop there. Now again, and it really is a free choice. They could have gone anywhere, and I've stuck my post-it to the back of Thor, because Thor's into that kind of thing, okay, and I predicted that you'd go for Ant-Man, because Ant-Man's my favourite. What do you know? Ant-Man. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do then is I'm going to explain how this trick works. We're going to set up, I'm going to show you how to set up the card trick. Okay, now you've got an index built into the pack. All right, so you're going to need 20 post-it notes. All right, now the post-it notes, these just a small little pad like this. I've got these from Staples in the UK, so you can get them from any stationers. They're very inexpensive, and the nice thing is, even though there's 20 post-it notes in the pack of cards, when you come to handle the cards, you really can't tell it. You know, it's really nice, and it just doesn't look like they're there. So that's really deceptive. The other thing as well is when you come to stick the post-it notes on, what you want to do is you want to stick them up nice and near the top of the card like this, and that's going to help and give you some really nice displays later on. I'll show you that when we get there. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to take out 20 playing cards, okay, get a good variation. So I've got picture cards and all kinds of spot cards. You want to make sure that you don't have any pseudo mates. By pseudo mates, I'll give you an example. The top card of my particular stack is the Jack of Diamonds. You want to make sure you've only got the Jack of Diamonds and not the Jack of Hearts, because once you've set these up, the other thing you're going to need to do is set up an identical pile of the pseudo mates. So if you have a quick look at my setup, I've got the Jack of Diamonds is my first card, okay, and then I've got the Jack of Hearts, and so on all the way through. So 9 of Spades, 9 of Clubs, etc, etc. So Ace of Diamonds, Ace of Hearts, all the way through. So once you've done that, the next thing you want to do, now this is really simple to do. It may sound a little bit complicated when I'm explaining it. Jump back a little bit, watch it again. It's very straightforward. And the nice thing about this effect routine is once it's set up, that's it. It's set up. You don't need to set it up again. The trick resets itself every time you do it. Okay, so it's basically you do it once and that's it. You're ready to go. So you've got your cards here. You've got your mates here. On the pile closest to you, the first card goes to the back, like so. You square these up and turn over. You square these up and turn over, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to turn this card over. You're going to do this one at a time all the way through the pack. So the first card you turn over, in my case, is the Jack of Diamonds. You put your post-it note on the back of this card. It doesn't matter what, you don't need to know what this card is. It's not important. You're going to put the post-it note on there and write the Jack of Diamonds. You're going to do that all the way through the pack. So the next card you turn over, in this case it's the 9 of Spades. I'm going to write 9 of Spades. Then I'm going to take the next card, which in this case is the Ace of Diamonds. I'm going to write the Ace of Diamonds. Okay, you do that all the way through. So in the end, you're in the same position that I'm in now. You've got 20 predictions and you've got your 20 cards, okay, set up in an order. Now the cards with the predictions on, these do not have to stay in that order, okay? so you can mix these up. In fact, you want to mix these up because you don't want somebody to look at it and sort of spot that there's there's a correlation between the two halves of the pack. So these are mixed up as much as possible. So I've now got my 26 cards, these stay in the same order, and I've got these all mixed up. Alright, that leaves me with a few cards left in my pack. Now what I'm going to do to assemble the pack is you want to get 4 or 5 cards, okay, and it doesn't matter what they are. I go for basically I have 4 cards, and then I'm going to put my stack, in other words the half without the post-it notes, on top. I then put the joker, so as I'm dealing, when I get to the joker I know I've gone past my stack, okay. Then my post-it notes, and finally whatever cards that you've got left at the bottom go here. The one final thing, that pack is now set up and ready to go. There's one final thing which is a nice subtlety. As you can see, if I spread through the cards this way, your spectator's going to see that you've got more than one post-it note, alright? Not good. So you want to spread through the cards this way. That's why, as I said earlier, by placing the post-it notes towards the top gives you a nice fair display. And the other thing that I do is I use a pointer card for my bottom card of the pack. In this case I use the 3 of hearts, and I orientate the 3 of hearts, so basically the middle heart, if that's pointing to me, I now know when I turn and spread I'm not going to show all those backs, okay? And the other thing you can do as well is you just give a gesture, a few, and then push through, and then towards the end just do a few like this. Without saying anything, you're showing that all the backs are regular. So that's our pack set up and ready to go. Okay, so we're going to do the explanation of the card effect now. So basically the way this works is, as you saw on the performance, you can spread through and you can show that all the cards are mixed up. All right. The nice thing about this is, even though we now know there's 20 post-it notes in the middle of the pack, okay, when you come to handle the cards and look at the pack, you just can't tell. I mean, it's really well disguised. It looks really nice. Okay. And the way this is going to work is, the first performance, what I did was I wrote a prediction. So you put that on there and you say, okay, so I'm going to stick that on there. We'll come back to it later on. Let me just remember what card that's on. Okay, this is one of your indifferent cards. Okay, so you just forget that, it doesn't matter. All right, and you're going to write anything on there. Okay, so you just write anything on there because the spectator isn't going to see it, but you do want to write something, okay, that looks like you're doing words, etc. And now I say I'm going to cut this into the pack. Now what I do is I'm just going to double undercut this to the bottom. All right, now it doesn't need to go to the bottom. You could slip cut it into the middle and stuff, but when we come to reset the trick later on, I need to take this sticker off, so obviously it makes more sense if you keep track of where the card is. All right, so as I just hold this towards myself, and basically I just double undercut it to the bottom of the pack, making sure that you don't cut into your stack of stickers as well. So it's quite a narrow cut the first time. Okay, so you cut that here up towards the spectators, and then you can come back down and cut. So that's cut my indifferent card to the bottom of the pack. Now what I'm going to do is basically I've now got 3 cover cards. Okay, so I'm going to time my words so the spectator doesn't call stop during those 3 or 4 cards on top. Okay, so I'm going to deal the cards face up like this. Anytime you like, I just want you to say stop, and I've already got those cards down, and the next face down card that we get to is going to be your card. So now you're going to deal quite slowly. You've got quite a big bank. You've got 20 cards for the spectator to call stopping, so you're not going to miss. I mean, if somebody's taking that long, then you just square up and you say, this may not work with you, and try somebody else. I've never had it happen to me, in all honesty. It's such a big bank, it's not worth worrying about, but I thought I'd mention that anyway. Okay, so you deal through, they say stop. Okay, so let's say they've stopped here. Okay, in this case, they've stopped on the Queen of Hearts. All right, The only information that I now need to know is what this card is, okay? And it's the 3 of clubs. Now the way I do this is I spread through the pack and I say you could have stopped me on any of these cards. Obviously they could, all right? And what that information is telling me is the sticker I need is on the mate of the 3 of clubs, which is obviously the 3 of spades. Okay, so I'll run through and I would say, now do you remember earlier I put a sticker, I stuck it to the back of the 3 of spades. Now let me just find the 3 of spades. Okay, so you run through and you find the 3 of spades. Okay, here it is. And you turn it over and it shows the Queen of Hearts, and obviously the Queen of Hearts is the spectator's card. Alright, to reset the trick, all you need to do, they all stay there face up, that gets dropped face up on top, okay, and then as you walk into the next group, all you need to do is this card here needs to go back there and you need to get rid of your sticker. I'm very quickly run through a double undercut if you haven't seen that before, okay. It's not really a move, it's very, very straightforward, but basically all you're doing is, in this instance, I'm going to take the 3 of diamonds and I'm going to cut it from the top of the pack, okay, to the bottom of the pack, and that's just so I can lose the card with the prediction on. And all you're going to do is you're just going to basically lift up on the top card, okay, so you can pull up with your thumb or push over and back. And basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick up a small packet of cards here and the rest I cut, okay. I then let go, retake the break with my little finger here, leaving the top card at the bottom, and then cut those to the top. Okay, so that's done very slowly. You do this very casually as you're just sort of talking, and you cut the cards like this, and that's going to cut your card from the top to the bottom. If you're not comfortable with the double undercut, you can, as I mentioned in the explanation, you could just basically stick your thumb on the top of the card, pick up a few cards and cut it straight into the middle like this, and so we'll come back to it later on, okay. But the double undercut is very straightforward. I suggest you just give it a little practice. Okay, so this is the other handling of the card effect. This time you don't have to look at the card or anything like that. It's a good idea to say to the spectator, look, you know, I've got nothing else in my pockets, would you like to check that, etc. Or just turn your pocket out and show them. And what you're going to do is you basically remove a post-it note, stick it on the back of the top card. Again, you know, as before, you've got the nice displays of cards face up, face down, etc. And you're going to write your prediction on the top on the post-it note. All right. So in this case, I've wrote my prediction. Obviously, you don't want the spectator to see this. You take it off and you pop it in your pocket. Now you're going to do exactly as before, so I'm just going to deal through like this. Anywhere you like, I just want you to say stop for me, okay? So they say stop here. Again, as before, I'm looking at this information here. Now the king, the black king, all I need to remember now is black king. I'll run through and I'll just say, you could have stopped me on any of these cards. Now basically what I'm going to do is, where I get to this black king here, which is my cue card, I'm just going to gesture slightly. So you could have gone for any of these cards, and I'm just going to cut that black king to the top of the pack. Okay. Now I'll say, I don't know what card you've stopped on. I'm going to turn around while you show everybody else. Now this is obviously this is really cheeky, but all you do, as your back's turned, you just peel the sticker off the top and stick it inside your hand. Okay. You then turn back and say, do you remember I placed this prediction inside my pocket? And you just come out with the same post-it note and you say, I predicted that you go for the 10 of clubs. 10 of clubs. Now to reset your pack, all you need to do is you obviously stick this back on here. Now this is where I would say it's important that you buy a decent quality post-it note. These are the actual post-it post-it notes rather than the ones you can get from a pound shop. And what I've found with these is you can peel them off and you can re-stick them, and it doesn't lose its adhesive. The cheaper ones, you'll put them on there and very quickly they lose their adhesive and they fall off and stuff. So it's worth spending. They're not very expensive anyway, but it's worth spending a little bit more. So now all I'm going to do is basically I'm just going to run through the pack until I find my 3 of hearts, which is my pointer card, remember. I'll put that back to the face, these go back on top, and my pack is now reset, ready to go again. Okay, and that's it, thank you. Okay, so as well as card effects, you can also use the system for names, places, words, and in this case, superheroes, something I like, quite fond of. And basically, the way it's set up, the system is exactly the same. Okay, you're going to have mates. Now, obviously, with playing cards, you've got pseudo mates, 3 of hearts, 3 of diamonds, etc. The way you would do it with letters, or places, or superheroes, etc., is like this. I've got a whole bunch of superheroes, and I've got 2 that start with the same letter. So if you have a look on the table here, I've got Iron Man and Iron Fist, Professor X, Punisher, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, Superman, Ant-Man, Avengers, The Thing, Thor, and so on. Okay, so they all start with the same letter. Now, to set up my pack, we're going to do exactly the same as before. So the top card, you put those in the same order as before. Goes to the back. These are squared up. Okay, these are squared up. And I've also got some other cards with letters that I haven't used, okay, and these are just 1s and 3s and 4s, it doesn't matter, so X's and W's and so on and so forth. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 4 or so on top, okay. These then go on top of our stickers, and then everything goes on top here. So now our pack is now set up and ready to go. Okay, as before, stickers are over here like so, so you've got the nice display. And the nice thing with words is I know if the words are facing this way, okay, like so, then the stickers are facing the other way. It's exactly the same to perform. You put your sticker on, or you put it in your pocket, and you say, I'm going to make a prediction. The nice thing about doing it this way is you can say to them, have you got a favourite superhero? I have. I'm gonna inject the thought into your mind of my favourite superhero. I'm going to write them down here. Okay, who do you think it might be? No, don't tell me. Put it away in your pocket, and you're going to deal through. Okay. So as before, you time your words so you get past your initial stack. And I now know once I get to Iron Man, in this case, I'm into my stack. All right. So anywhere they call stop. Now the nice thing about this is, again, this time I'm going to be looking at this card here, okay, so I know the information is T, so all I'm looking for now is a word or a person or a place that starts with T, and that's got my information on. Okay, so if I run through, there you go, there's T, that's Thor, and that tells me that you've stopped on Ant-Man. What do you know? Ant-Man. Okay, so as I said, this system can be used for pretty much anything: people, names, places, and in this case, superheroes. Give it a try, I think you'll like it. Now, one thing you can do, if you're using a small amount of finite objects, so let's say if you're going to go for cities in the world, all right, and you've got Paris and Lisbon and all that kind of stuff, big cities or capital cities, or superheroes even, what you can do is, to save on the dealing procedure, you put your post-it note on there and you write a prediction down. So let's say if I said cities, I'd write Paris on there. Now I know full well that I've got what cities I've got in here, okay? So and I know where they are. So if, for example, I wrote down Paris, I'd put it into the middle and say, right, okay, I know what card it's on. Ask them to name a city, and they say Lisbon. And you say, well, actually, you know, I placed my post-it note on this card here, and you turn it over and it reveals Lisbon. Now the nice thing as well is, obviously, if you write on there and say Paris, and what you're thinking of a city, and you can try a little bit of cold reading and stuff, and if you think they're going there, you can reveal it and say parish straight away. And finally, the other thing you can do is, if that bit doesn't work, you say, well, obviously I'm trying to I'm trying to influence you. I want you to do this completely using your subconscious, and I want you to say stop absolutely anywhere, and you deal through and do it the normal way. Okay, so there's a slightly more psychological way of doing things that could be a lot fairer without the dealing if you wanted to go that way. Right, that's it. That's my prediction system. I really think you're going to like this. I really think you're going to use it. Thank you very much.